This is the WA real estate engine. This is a really lightweight plugin for WordPress that makes life really easy if you're selling real estate. So I'm going to go through the front end first, then I'll go in through the back end and show you how everything works. So this is just a dummy site we have set up on a WAMP stack, a local development server. And you can see the first thing that our app does is create the typical real estate search that has municipality, area, property type, status, minimum and max price, and bedrooms. So you can do a complete search. The next thing that we incorporated into our app is a slider. This will display the first several, you can pre-program it to do 6, to do 10, to do 3, whatever, of your newest listings. And it gives you a link and some quick data to everything. So down below, this is another feature in our app, and this is the Neighborhood Explorer piece. And we only have 6 listed on the front page because it lays out really nicely. But what this does is it automates the real estate properties that you have. So you can see over here in this particular neighborhood, by the way, this is done in Merida, Yucatan, Mexico for the example. In this particular neighborhood, gives you a quick blurb or sentence about the neighborhood itself. And it says there's 3 properties listed and we can explore that. You can lay this out differently. I'm going to click on view all for a moment. We created a blog page basically, and it has the neighborhoods that we've entered so far. So for example, the one I spoke about was Montes de Ame. And if we click on that, it brings up information. You're going to see to the right 3 current listings, view properties. And you could read several paragraphs about the neighborhood, then it shows it on a map exactly where it is. And then when you keep scrolling, it actually gives you the 3 properties that we listed. So it's pretty cool. Let's go back to the home page for a moment. This top hero image was also created with another app, another plugin for WordPress that we've developed. And this is the hero image builder. And let's go straight to listings. What we decided to do using shortcode is bring in the search, the advanced search engine here. We put it right at the top where it should be. And this is an example of how it lays out the properties for you. These are featured properties at the top. You can feature or unfeature a property. You'll also notice that there are little badges, featured or price to sell. And as we scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see this one says sold. So that's part of this system. Let's click on something. Let's click on this property, Casa de Oliver. And it brings up on the first line a series of images in your gallery, and then you can view all photos by just clicking the button, and it brings up a gallery viewer. And you can scroll through. I'm on a laptop, so I'm just using the arrow keys on the keyboard, but you can click or tap on the arrows on each side of the image to go backwards and forwards. Down below, it'll give you the title of the home. To the right, it'll give you the property agent. In this case, that's me with a phone number, WhatsApp, and email button. This gives you really quick stats, 3 beds, 2 baths, construction size, and lot size. These are important to be filled out in the administrative end of this because they bring up things like, and this is a great feature, what your budget buys. So because we are in Merida, Mexico, we wanted to do this as a perfect example. This particular house, the local market values it at $495, but the same kind of a thing, same square footage in Miami is 1,650,000 and change. In Austin, Texas, 1,000,001, and San Diego, 2 million, almost $3 million for the same size property. This is a great selling point and think it's one of the most important features where you can compare. In our version, the latest version, you can plug in different areas. It doesn't have to be Miami, Austin, San Diego. It could be anything that you want so long as you find the median square feet, the how much each square foot would go for in those areas that you choose. We give you 3 to show as examples. Again, great selling point. Then it gives you the description, a blurb, whatever you want to put here. Sometimes more is better, sometimes not. This piece also is great because this allows you to see if a client that wants to see one of your showings, one of your homes, is legitimate and serious. So they fill out the form, which takes maybe 60 seconds at the most. And what this does, once they submit the form, complete with a spam check built in, it goes to an email as well as a built-in CRM within your real estate engine. So this is a super cool piece. It lets you know, it kind of grades the potential client by points and lets you know how serious they are about buying property if they're ready. If there's a video to go with your property, you can very easily embed it in the system. It'll show you amenities like every other real estate system. It'll show you a map so you can view on the map what's around. And this piece is also really cool. It just gives some information about living around this property. Walkability on this one, we're 6 minutes on foot from many amenities, and it says what's nearby. It gives you a restaurant, a supermarket, a hospital, a park, and a school that's nearby. It'll give you walking distance in minutes and kilometers. We scroll down a little bit more, we have estimated drive time. So the system allows you to put in 4 different areas or points of interest. In this case, we put in Center City, it's called Centro here in Merida. So it's a 3-minute walk, 1.4 kilometers, or just under a mile. We did this both because here we have buyers from the States and buyers from other parts of the world. Everybody else uses the metric system except for the US, but we thought it was important to put that in if you have potential United States customers coming in. 10 minutes from the airport, 11 minutes from Costco. Progresso is one of the more popular, larger beaches nearby, 36 minutes from this particular house. And then the neighborhood in San Sebastian, it compares listings for this one particular neighborhood or barrio here, and it gives you an estimated average asking price. It's really cool, all to help you sell. And your agent is always there, ready to get a phone call or a WhatsApp or an emailing inquiry. Let's look at how this is pieced together in the back end. So let's go over to the WordPress admin area. And you're going to see we have properties, and below it, I'm going to start with agents. So this is unlimited. You can have as many agents as you want. In this case, that's me. That's my picture on the right. I can have a bio here should I decide to fill one out. And then beneath that, it'll give agent details. So I'm the owner, for example, a phone number, an email address, WhatsApp phone number, languages, English and Spanish, and if there's a license or ID associated with it, we can put that in as well. We can add new agents by clicking the button above. Super simple. Let's look at properties. We're going to start from the bottom up. Settings. We couldn't have made this easier. This is basically some layout concepts here. Defaulted, everything lays out the way I showed you a moment ago. International site profile, basically the local market wherever you happen to be. So the country is Mexico. You can rename this as well. The primary currency is Mexican. Comparison currency, we put USD, but it could be anything from all over the world. On the front end, while it'll give you whatever dollar amount or peso amount that you put in its prospective country, it'll do a conversion to whatever the user wants. to see. I'm going to show you that example because I missed that as we were going through. So in this case, this particular house in San Sebastian was listed for 495,000, but if I'm coming in from Europe, it'll give me a European rate, or any other country, it'll tell me a conversion. The conversions, by the way, are done in real time, they're live, so you get the current rate for this particular moment. Let's go back to the settings area. Location intelligence. Oh, before we even get to that, here, check this out. So I didn't finish this. Distance display. So we can do kilometers, miles, or in this case, both, because I want both to display on the front end for people coming in from wherever they're coming in from. These are all separate modules that are loaded into this app. You can use all of them, some of them, none of them, but we think all of them gives you the best selling points. For walkability, we put in Centro, which is the name, Center City, and then we put in the latitude and longitude, which you can easily find using Google or your favorite AI app. And we did that for destination 2, 3, and 4 as well, Airport, Costco, and Progressive Beach. Below, we wanted dual measurements to show, both in square feet and in metric and meters, price perspective. And this is where we put in this piece. So for my comparisons, I put in Miami, Austin, and San Diego. And I found, again, I believe I used AI for this, I put in the median list price in square feet for all three. And that enables, let's bring this up, that enables this piece down here, local market, Miami, Austin, San Diego. And of course, as the market changes, you can do this once a month. You can just update the settings. And here I have my market data month. Was the last time I did this, July of 2026. Buyer qualification, the other thing that's really important is to see if your potential buyer is qualified. So this enables the questionnaire form. We're going to show this on the property page, notification email, and it does a simple math CAPTCHA. So those are the settings. We included import and export functions, so you can load from a spreadsheet if you are connected to an MLS service or an IDX. You can do from there too. You can use a spreadsheet. A CSV file is great. It'll import everything at one shot. And this is a really cool feature, import from URL. So if there's, let's say, a private owner who created a web page and they're selling their house, and you made a deal with them to also market their house, you don't have to do any of this manually. You can go to their website, put in the URL, hit analyze. It'll bring up all the data that it'll pull from there. It won't bring up agent data. It won't bring up other phone numbers so that you are the listing agent for this property, but it will copy out pictures, add copy, details about the house, square footage. It'll basically grab most of the data. Again, depending on how much the person has on their website, that's what it copies. And sometimes it might come over a little funky, you manually correct it, and you're good to go. But it will do an instant import, which is beautiful, makes life really easy. I said earlier the system comes with a built-in CRM. So if somebody fills out, let's go back here for a moment, the request a viewing form, this does some simple calculations and tells you if the client is serious or not. And then all of this data is transferred automatically into your CRM under clients. It tells me that this particular John Doe person, fake name for a moment, it tells me his client roles. He's a buyer, he's a renter, he is qualified. You can manually change things as well. The assigned agent is me, Howard. Phone number, email address, WhatsApp. It gives you all this thing. Plus it gives you this cool data, minimum that he wants to spend, maximum he can spend, what currency he's working in, time frame when he's ready to purchase, if he's in Merida or he has to travel here, for example, and it came from, let's say, the lead source from Facebook or wherever it comes from. You can also manually change that. Property preferences, not everything is filled out, but it could be. Um, this tells me associated properties. There's internal notes I could make. I just put testing because it's a fake client, fake potential client. Activity and follow-up. Now this is super cool. I manually put this in call this afternoon when I was testing out the system. This was done by the website itself. Buyer qualification submitted for this particular house and gives me highly qualified. That's the way it scored this potential client. And then a request for viewing on this particular date, 10 a.m. So that's kind of cool. You can add manually too. This feature is really neat. Based on the criteria of your potential client, it takes all of your inventory and gives you matches, percentage matches. So in this case, looking at his budget, looking at the prices and everything else, it takes everything into consideration and does a 65% match. You can see on most of them, a few of them that he can't maybe afford, a little 61%, 30% match, 30% match. So if any of the settings are changed in the back end and maybe he decides, okay, I've got a larger budget, those percentage matching points will also change. Really cool feature. Makes life a lot easier. Amenities are typical amenities, but through WordPress, you can add your own amenities if something should be missing or a house is customized. Areas and neighborhoods, same thing. Now, I auto-populated this. You can manually populate this. Same thing with cities and municipalities. This will give you all of the areas. You'll see there's 106 items altogether just in the state where I live. Property status. This will give you all your property statuses, and you can also add your own. In this case, you can add under contract, whatever it is that you want. Property types, same deal. Apartment, commercial, condo, here, hacienda, house. You can put all of this in. Business, local business, you can add that in there as well. Add a new property. It's when you want to do this manually. Once you have your images set and sized properly, they're in your folder somewhere on your computer. You can just add a title. You can add your description and then fill in all the blanks on your forms. Latitude and longitude is important. I think I mentioned that earlier. Once these parameters are filled in with something, then you'll have some of these cool modules display on the front, like the map. You're living around this property area, estimated drive times, and that just helps with everything. Let's go back. I'll show you what it looks like. Properties, again, this is all designed similar to posts and pages. If I want to feature a property right now, I have 3 of them featured. All you have to do is just click the star, and that will be featured and brought to the top of your live site. So let's go to listings, show you how that works. I've only got 3 featured right now. Actually, this is great. It showed me, I've got several featured, 4 featured altogether. This is the new one that we just featured, so it works that quickly. And we can unfeature it as well. I don't think that's a word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's do a refresh. And just like that, it's back to a normal listing. And this is the Web Authoring's real estate engine.